How's it going, everyone? I'm Frank Cavone.
I'm Doug Quimby.
And I'm Brett Porter.
And we are Kinda Live.
Kinda Livin.
And this is the Mirth Films podcast, episode 59 of Kinda Live, Kinda Livin podcast, where you can watch, listen to on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube Podcasts. And if somebody's ripping this and streaming it to Twitch, then amazing. We've made it. But we've made it here today. So we've all made it alive and well. We got a lot to talk about. This is going to be an interesting podcast since we don't have a guest on, which is something that you're just going to have to get used to because we are going to try to start talking about topics and all that gibber jazz. That's been one of my new favorite words to say over the past hour. But yeah, we've got a lot of shit to talk about.
It does sound like a word from the 1920s.
It does, and it's a music promotion company as well, Gibber Jazz.
Really?
They host music festivals throughout New York State and the surrounding areas, which is really cool.
The more you know.
The more you know, exactly. So, but today's main focus is Wild in the Trees Music and Skate Festival. But before we get into that and before I burp, we're just going to ask, how's your week's been? I can't even speak English. Jesus.
Oh, God. Guests really do anchor us down.
Well, I'll start. I mean, my week's been, pretty mundane. With Wild in the Trees coming up. Well, I went to the Rye Bread fundraiser last night. That was pretty cool. Saw the Rye Bread family band.
Sorry, I can't get this lower
Dude,
third.
Yeah,
he's not turf and turf. But
he's not Brett Porter. He's not turf and turf.
It's been a while, guys.
I am whoever you want me to be. So yeah, the Rye Bread fundraiser was pretty cool last night. A few bands played, like Dr. Ja, Mushroom Red, the Rye Bread family band. So it was really cool to go see support for that. Other than that, I still have all 5 of my cats. So if anybody wants a kitten, please hit me up. How was your week, Brett?
Dude, I feel like if I'm going to tell the story, I have to say it through the megaphone. It will make me feel better.
All right, so to some of you that don't know, see, I got hit by a fuel tanker the other week.
Sorry, it's hard to get used to.
But yeah, so your boy is now without a car. See, I have to use my fiance's vehicle to get place to place. But we are 6 days from Wild in the Trees, and things are looking up.
How about you, Frankie?
The battery's not working. It's been a rocky fucking week. It's been a rocky week, but there's been great things that have happened. Like shit getting crossed off the list. That's one of my favorite things to do is cross shit off a list. When I don't need to do things right away, I do them anyways because I don't know how to chill. But Danny's been helping me with that, which is cool. Other than that, just kind of gearing the website up for content. As you've noticed and we've brought up, there's been a lack of content at mirth-films.com. But because we've had Wild in the Trees to worry about, so I spent all of Saturday just writing up articles, adding on old podcasts, videos that we've done. So it's really just prepping for what's to come after Wild in the Trees. We're going to take like a short week, 7 days, short or long, however you perceive it. We're taking a week off because not only do we need to prep for what you guys have to see coming up next.
But it's also my bachelor party.
It's also his bachelor party.
Beer Olympics, dude, 2023.
And he's getting married, so...
Goddamn right, dude. 33 days.
33 days. And
who the fuck is counting?
Hey, that's a good number. 33, it used to be Nickelodeon back on Time Warner Cable days.
Yeah, when Cartoon Network was 45.
It was 45, then it was 32.
Yes.
And then Disney Channel was 34.
And FX was 31.
And ESPN was still 24.
24/7 sports, baby. But other than that, just last minute Wild in the Trees things, because we got that coming up. So other than that, I just really, it's been a crazy, rough week. But that's all right because we're going to have some fun with you guys October 7th and 8th down at the Lake George Skate Plaza in Lake George, New York for Wild in the Trees 2023, right across from the lake.
Oh, it's beautiful. Actually, I drove up to the top of Prospect today. Took that little route up. I kind of realized that, not all of their, scenic turnoffs are,
Scenic.
Well, they could just trim the trees a little bit. But it was beautiful.
It's a little too wild, huh?
A little too wild up on Prospect, if you ask me. But no, it's beautiful. George, I was trying to see the skate park from the top of the mountain. Very hard to see. It's hidden by some trees. But no, I'm excited that we're having this little event in our town.
It's nice, man. It's exciting, especially to. I mean, I say it all the time, and anyone who knows me beyond the on-camera part of Mirth Films, dude, we're getting the band back together, and it's an amazing feeling. And we've commemorated it in a few ways. Aside from financial distress, we've also made commemorative pins.
For financial stress.
So aside from that, we've made enamel pins. The first 100 people to purchase tickets. Yeah, you can see that. But it's about like an inch by an inch and a half. Yeah, let's really get it in there. Let's
Just
get
to show the
the
focus.
yeah. Let's get the
I don't know
focus.
left from right.
But yeah, so those are going to be available to the first 100 people through the door who either buy tickets then and there or have pre-ordered tickets. And if you missed that threshold, don't worry. We still have about 80 of them left to sell. Those are going to be $10 a piece. And we're also, to those of you out there, obviously we are no Danny Steinmans. We're not pin daddies. We are pin turns, if anything. So to commemorate number 1 of the printed edition of the Mirth Films logo pins, we're doing a basket raffle. And you're going to be able to get a little bit of Mirth Films swag in addition to pin number 1. A couple other cool Mirth Films things. And we're going to do tickets for $1 a piece. And if your number gets called, answer the phone. And we're gonna put a pin in you.
That's right. And I totally had something I was going to say, but I can't remember. But I think... Oh, so what I was thinking is, like, we definitely got to give Jess Turcotte a pin because Jess was the person who designed the Mirth Films logo, which is half the reason why it's badass, because Jess Turcotte is just a fucking great artist.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, everything from her work with Pint Size to Paradox Brewery and every other place in between that we don't know. She does help other local businesses. She helped really design even the logo. Well, she did. She designed the logo for Wild in the Trees, which I did realize. I was like, somebody asked me, I think Pete Mason asked me, he's like, how did they come up with the logo?
It's like, we didn't.
No, I did draw this out. Like, I had this idea, and I wrote it down on a piece of paper. I still have it. And she took it, and she literally made it to
perfectly.
Be. And that's something, how we're going to kick off today's episode of the podcast is kind of talk about where did Wild in the Trees come from, its origins, and basically what we're trying to do here in 2023 and the future of everything. So, just starting on that, the name, the logo inspiration, the logo inspiration, I have to say a lot from Spitfire. If you look at the eyes, the teeth,
Ooh.
I mean, we could get a fucking copyright strike for how good it looks,
Then maybe you should keep your voice down.
We like to say thank you to Spitfire
for the inspiration.
Yes. I'd like to think we are operating under something called fair use.
Fair use policy, it is a law in the legalities of life.
I don't see like a flame anywhere around the tree.
Yeah, I think a flame around the tree would actually be problematic.
I
Therefore,
agree.
how could Spitfire even dare?
And for Smokey, we are preventing forest fires by not starting the fire like Billy Joel said the whole time. We didn't start it. And it ain't starting because we're going to possibly get rain this weekend, which we'll also get into.
Yeah, let's prolong that until we absolutely have to talk about it.
I'm hoping for the Lake George effect, because like Lake George gets really lucky when it comes to storms, and like because it's just in a valley 2 miles on each side, like things sometimes pass on by.
Perks of being a cereal bowl in the middle of upstate New York.
Facts.
So, the idea and where did the idea come from, guys? Like really,
Well, I mean,
I don't remember.
So okay, I will tell you this story because I remember it, because after a couple of weeks of us all being away from one another, we all you and I each had an idea. It was one of the last Mirth Minutes we had shot while you were still living in Albany, and I don't remember who we were getting ready to have on as a guest for Cheap Flights during the Cheap Flights era, but I remember you saying, I have an idea, and I'm like, I have an idea, and I'm like, okay, count of 3, we say our ideas. 3, 2, 1, 24-hour pocket music festival.
And that's why I was like,
and we're both just like, you're fucking crazy. How the hell are we gonna pull off a music festival? How the hell are we gonna pull off a 24-hour podcast? And the answer is still now, I don't fucking know.
we did it.
We did, but we did it.
We did it.
We did
and I would say some of the inspiration definitely came from the stuff that we were doing with the skateboarding competition.
Oh yeah, ever since the grand opening, we've been having events and competitions every single year. I think the first year was 2016. And so yeah, basically every year besides the COVID years, we've been having competitions. So I mean, we're gonna have a music festival. Why not throw in a skateboarding competition? That's something we know.
Exactly, and that's where, you know, I guess what was my inspiration? Like, where did I have this idea, in at least from my perspective, separate from everybody else's, you know, equal contributions to the concept and idea of Wild in the Trees, was Dave Eamon. I mean, Dave Eamon laid down the tracks of how to do it and how to do it right with 80K Music Fest and then Memorial Meltdown, LGD 50 concert series. He showed that it could be possible. How did we know? How did we think we could possibly pull this off? You know, we're not promoters, but yeah, having an inn with Lake George Village and, you know, the work we did to raise money for the skate park in Lake George, that definitely led to the connection, which is why I bring this up from time to time, or I should bring up even more, is it, honestly, if you want to make a career in anything music related, video related, photography related, it's all connection based. You have all the connections, you are the king. And, you know, and you got to keep your relationships good too. But like in our instance, we did keep our relationship pretty intact with Mayor Blaze. Mayor Blaze was the longest running mayor in U.S. history. Still holds the record to this day. I don't know what the exact number is, but definitely go look it up on Google and give him the SEO clicks, because Mayor Blaze is the man. So.
Yeah, he's trying to become an influencer now in his retirement.
I mean, fuck, I would. Like,
Now I mean, I still live in Lake George, but you know how we had the LG1 plate? A different car has the LG1 plate now. I like wonder if it's like in Lake George law that the mayor gets the LG1 plate.
That could be that. Maybe Mayor Blaze bought a new car. That's always another possibility.
Yeah, but it's from a different house. Like I saw it pull out of a house on the road from me, and like not.
It wasn't the house.
It wasn't the house.
Okay, so you know that's unfortunate. I would give him
an interesting
0-1.
thing.
LG 0-1.
0-1.
You know what I'm saying? You can't take that away
LGM.
from the Blaze. So yeah, we did our first skateboarding competition in 2016. This was the grand opening of the Lake George Skate Plaza, which was originally built in 2015. November 5th, 2015 is when I first saw it. But you know, something that a lot of people were involved, and we kind of just like, I would say, out of anybody in the group, like, I would say the responsibility came onto our hands because we were still very involved with skateboarding, and for no other reason. Everybody else involved in the concept and the organization have also moved on to bigger and better things, like Tim Gudis, like Cam Moss, who's a dad, probably the best dad ever. I mean, I got to root for him. But yeah, so that's kind of how the idea for the location came to be. We had an inn. This was our inn, and now it's, hey, let's try to put on a music festival and see if we can do it. And year one, I mean, what was your idea? Like, once it became solidified, what were your guys' feelings in your own body? Like, did you think that you had it? I'm not saying you didn't have it in you, but do you think like we were in over our heads? Like, well,
I mean,
go down
it was
the
a
line.
little nerve-wracking, but I mean, like, I remember the grand opening. It wasn't just a skateboarding competition. We had like a lot of vendors there and like more people involved. I'm pretty sure we had like a couple of people playing. I mean, they were just like playing on the grass, but like it was definitely like a low-key music festival. So I mean, the potential was there, and I mean, I mean, we've had events before where we've had bands come and play. You know, we've hosted multiple skateboarding events. So I was like, it seemed like it was in our wheelhouse. We could do it. But I mean, it was definitely intimidating, to say the least. Especially like watching like the stage back up in there. It's like, we're really doing something right now.
I think that's when it like hit me.
Yeah.
Was that like being there? You were there too. We were all there.
Yeah, dude. It was
like seeing that guy back that fucking thing up.
By the way, props to him for doing that.
Best driver in the world.
That is a narrow ass passageway. And even with that being such a small stage in the grand scheme of stage sizes, that man did that flawlessly. So a big thank you to our friend Rob, the mobile stage man himself. I don't know any other way to get a hold of him or talk to him, but I know his name's Rob, and he has a mobile stage, and he's letting us use his mobile stage this upcoming weekend. So all the thanks in my book.
In my phone, Rob is Rob Stage Guy.
As he should
Either if you're in my phone, it's either I've known you for years, or I either have your name spelt wrong. Your name is not actually that name, because even to this day, 2 planets away, Mark Emmeldorf is still Chris 2 planets in my phone, which there's nobody even named Chris in the band. Like, and I'm just like, I have at times been like, looked at my phone and answered it and almost called him Chris and be like,
Why don't you just change it?
Jarrett,
At least that one.
Jarrett Hearthstone is Jarrett Hearthstone, because the
Autocorrect,
first time I ever
probably.
went camping was Hearthstone Campgrounds in fucking Lake George. And then Dave Edmond is Dave Edmond. So sometimes when I gotta like put something together, like a video, I really have to look for the last name, like somewhere online, because if I don't,
Well, dude,
remember, you're guaranteed
sounds
to get
like
your
you
name.
could just update your contact.
I'm bad with last
so wait,
names.
the
You
guy
already
from
know it.
the guy from 2 planets away. What's his last name?
Mark Elmendorf. Elmendorf?
Yeah,
It's Elmendorf. During that entire podcast, I would like to just say, for the record, you were calling him Mark Ameldorf.
Elmendorf. I know, because that's the other thing I call him. So, Brad, what was your feelings like going into this mad festival?
Dude, I didn't know how to put it into words, and if I did, I definitely didn't know how to spell them. No, I really. Sorry, I just had to shit on you for a sec. But no, I was just seeing it all happen, and God, I mean, you guys all remember Taylor and I getting to your place at 5:30 in the morning with just her car full of everything. Just like, this is really fucking happening. And I, for one, am excited this year and coming up because of that. But even just going back to that, and just like, it was a lot of, at first, it was a lot of kind of like hurrying up and waiting and like getting the things done that we could, and then using a lot of that pre-setup, like pre-gates time to do things, but we couldn't do things until other things were done. And it was a lot of hurrying up and waiting, and then 10 to 11 was just widespread panic. But then 11:01 was like, hey, people are here. We're good. We did it. We have vendors. We have coffee. We have skateboarders. We have a sound guy. And it all came together at the time it should have. And the jitters kind of went away as soon as that we saw like that first like kind of wave of people come in, and just really made me like kind of come back to earth and like know that it's not a bust and it wasn't all for nothing, and that we actually, that for all intents and purposes, we did it right. So hopefully that happens again this year.
It's true. And I'll say, I think initially I was like, we got this in the bag, because I mean, just from the level of
to be
stress,
young and naive.
And that's it, man. Stay young, stay naive, because this is it. Like, we have experienced the process of raising money for a skate park. We've experienced the process and the stress of being a part of a big music festival, and we've also experienced the stress of Mirth Films, which nearly has killed all of us. And so at the time, I was like, this is gonna fucking happen. I never had any doubt. But yeah, until that stage rolled in, that's when I was like, oh, hold on a second. So wait, all of this falls on us. And that made me a little uncomfortable. And I also just, more than anything, just wanted it to go well. Which, number one, big shout out to Chuck Visconian, because I think his ability to do his job the way he did, and also have the game face, and was able to come into the festival even keel, and everything else the rest of the day was just even keel. Like, he showed up, he was in high spirits, and then that just kind of, for me, like, eased it in my mind. And then things just started happening naturally, like at a festival, and the vendors rolled in, some vendors didn't roll in, that kind of sucked. But like, everything that could have went wrong didn't go wrong, and we planned our money right. We paid everybody, and that feels fucking good.
Oh yeah.
And we all know that in this industry, it's not only not the highest paying industry, but sometimes you don't get your money, and that just fucking sucks. And for us, and at least for me, the big thing was, I don't care if a single person shows up, but as long as everybody's paid, taken care of, then I can, look at myself in the mirror and know that we did something all right.
Yeah. Even if we didn't get the results that we wanted from the whole weekend, we can at least go in knowing we did it all the right way. We did it in a way where, like, if anyone suffers from this weekend, the only 3 people who should suffer should be us.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's be real. I hope that doesn't happen, but that's just the way it should be. And absolutely, if there's anything doing this last year taught us all, is that this is a massive undertaking, and that we've all put hundreds of hours. We put hundreds of hours, each of us, in for 22, and that workload has only increased this year.
Yeah.
But and something that does make me happy is that we've been very good about just doing it the right way and doing the right thing and taking care of the people who are providing us with a service.
And that's it. We have control over what we have control over, which is making sure the lights are on, making sure that people are also happy at the festival and are enjoying themselves and making sure they're accommodated. What was some of our favorite moments here? Let's go down the line here. I'll start. Or some of my favorite moment. I was gonna free spit some stuff here, but now.
Did someone drop a beat?
Yeah, I mean, I can't drop a beat. My favorite moment of the day was when I met Clay at Rye Bread Music Festival almost yesterday.
Oh, shoot! Whoa.
I'm done. I'm going to take us from one viewer to none viewers. What was my favorite part of the music festival? My favorite part of the music festival was hearing the Scunches.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, the second they started Sylvia, I was like, wow! I got up and I just immediately walked over and was like, yes.
And no offense, guys, my least favorite part of the music festival was getting ready to sing, "Come on, Sylvia, let's do some lines." And that
dude, the heartbreak singing along and then them not singing along with me. Like, oh.
It was like, is this Farmhouse? Sorry, guys, not ripping on you. We have to make a whole fucking video based on
no, we love you guys. We love you guys. And the new interpretation was awesome as well.
It was all right.
You gotta bring it. I love a chill rock song.
I might call out the right way. I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, so I don't know. Just the fact that everything did go smooth. We literally packed up. I was home by 10 p.m. That was cool.
Oh yeah. I mean, let's be real. That's not gonna happen again.
It's not gonna happen this year because the music is gonna be going
going later, and then after party. At the fucking lagoon.
At the lagoon, which we probably won't.
Dude, it's only four. It's only 4 buildings. It's only 4 buildings down, but it's 2 planets away. If you catch my drift. God fucking damn it! I hate myself.
No, that is the hardest thing. We never are able to go to the after parties because we're always unloading gear. So we're gonna have to at least try to attend our.
At least one of us make a guest appearance.
We're gonna have to kick somebody out.
Dude, I'm gonna go in with an apron and just sling some merch while I'm over there.
That's it.
Throw some shirts on my shoulder. I got pins, dog.
Bring 2 shirts because we know that he's going to need one.
If I go to the lagoon, yes, I have a record of losing shirts at Lagoon. Yeah, I'm bummed as well. That was the only Formula 5 shirt. I'm not going to get another one.
That was it was a nice shirt.
Oh, well.
But Frankie, what about you, man? What was your favorite, if you really had to think, of all of that weekend of Wild in the Trees 22?
You want to know my favorite fucking moment?
If you tell me it's packing up at the end, I'm going to kick your fucking seat.
You tell me it's hanging out on the stage.
It was arriving at 6 a.m. That was my favorite moment. You want to know why? Because for 2 hours, I got to just play all the music I wanted to in my car with my car doors open as we're setting up for this event that we're getting excited about. That was definitely awesome. And then also even just, I don't know, camping. camping in
Maybe it
the
was
skate
kinda fun.
plaza, like out till a certain point, you know.
It was
like,
really fun till everybody else left and it was just us camping.
and also just like I took this picture of the stage at Wild in the Trees, and it was like right around that time we were all partying and camping right down the Lake George Skate Plaza. I just remember looking at the stage and seeing the Mirth Films banner and just being like, this is our. Actually, you know what my favorite moment is, motherfucker? My favorite moment was sitting on the stage and enjoying some libations. And being like, this is our stage.
That was a really awesome moment.
We paid for that thing. We paid for everything there.
This is our event.
I mean, they take it back at some point, but
for that moment, it was ours.
It was great.
During
It
that
was just
time.
like sitting on the stage like in between the 2 days and just like having the realization that we pulled this off. Like that, I don't like sit and think about
Just letting the
what
moment
I've
soak
done.
in.
Like the Greg Bell documentary, I never let that soak in.
No, you didn't want to watch the
I
movie.
didn't want to watch the movie, to be honest. And like, but you know, like actually, I also want to give a huge shout out to Danny real quick. Nothing meant more to me than her asking me if I wanted to watch the Greg Bell documentary. I was like, at this point, I watched it twice.
dude, we get it, Frankie. You have a girlfriend.
Get it, Frankie. You edit videos.
But I'm just, I'm just like,
We get it,
I
man.
don't care to
You
watch
have nice
it.
cameras.
Like, I put myself through so much fucking shit, along with Kim Heaton, and like, that was kind of like, cool. Like, nobody's ever asked me to like about a video that I've done and then like want to like watch it and like do. So that was cool. But like, so for this reason why I'm bringing up and letting it soak in for the first time at Wild in the Trees and kind of reflecting over the past 4 years at that point of what we actually did, because it was not an easy road. Like, no, like, yeah, obviously, like, we get a lot of luxuries from doing Mirth Films, a lot of luxuries that general public do not get. We get to, you know, even if we don't get to say hello to a musician, we walk by Keller Williams and get to be in the same essence and place as him, and we earned that. We didn't, you know, we started this from the ground up ever since 2018, and like, I felt like we always knew what we were gonna do, like, but we never like came to formula, and then like, with help of you, like later on, and also in 2018, which was also like got us to 1,000 likes on Facebook.
Dude, yeah. Oh, God. That was Regency
that?
days, right?
Yeah,
You guys
so
were at the Regency.
We're smoking like the cheapest 100 cigarettes.
Yo, actually,
Yeah.
shout out to Regency Park North. I went to the dump the other day and it was closed, so I stopped by over there and threw out my trash.
Dude, nice.
Yeah.
But I remember that.
That's amazing.
Well, I remember
gotta do it again
the most unofficial Mirth Film staff meeting I think ever existed, and everybody going through their friends list. Like, we're like, it was like, we have 987 likes. We need to get to 1,000. And I was like, and everyone's like, dude, we already invited all of our friends. I'm like, how do you invite friends to like stuff? And
I
like,
remember like, yes.
and like 2 hours later, yeah, we're smoking Marb 27s.
Was that what we were
smoking Marb 27s, and someone was like, "Are you smoking cigarettes?" We're like, "No,
No.
no, no." And yeah, at some point, you check your phone. You're like, "Dude, who is?" It was some random person too. It was like who is Derek Durkee? Because he's our 1,000th like or something like that. It's like, I graduated with him. It's like, well, we're at 1,000 likes, and now we're on the precipice of. No, we hit 5,000.
We hit 5,000 without even looking at it, and that's a good feeling. Which we're not doing this for the fucking numbers. Like, maybe for YouTube we are.
YouTube,
Please like and subscribe.
YouTube. There is
like
definitely
gold.
some motivation.
Yeah.
If we hit 2,000 before the end of the year,
Well,
Daddy
we're
is
right
going to
now
get a Mirth Films tattoo.
At this trajectory,
Do it for me.
we are going to hit 2,000 subs. I would say by the end of November. We've gained 20 subscribers in the past week and a half, which is great. But that
not
bucket's
bad.
going to run dry because we got to start producing shit, which is why, unfortunately, we're going to be making some changes to Mirth Films. Some that are going to be beneficial to your viewing pleasure, and I can tell you that right now because at this point in my life, I do not give a shit about anything but making content and making the best content. So
you're gonna
right here,
see-
I'm going to cheers, and we're all going to drink after because I don't
You're
want to
the-
get yelled at for not fucking
You're the
cheersing.
only one that needs to.
I didn't. You got to cheers again because I didn't even say what we're cheersing to yet.
All
We're
right.
cheersing in 3 years. 3 years too. We gotta make sure this date's right. October 2nd.
It is October.
Yeah.
2nd.
Oh, Nick and Heather's anniversary, by the way. Happy anniversary, guys! 1 year married. Also, cheers to that. But
We will hit in 3 years to this date or sooner 1 million subscribers.
and if we don't,
And if we don't, we're gonna hit 500,000 subscribers.
Hey. But yeah, Frankie is definitely right. You will see some changes. I hope you guys like them. You're gonna see maybe some old segments make a comeback. You're gonna see maybe we add some new faces. I don't fucking know. Maybe we tragically cut one of the three of us from this company. And you guys only see me at the bar now. Well, I don't know. We don't know.
Due to unforeseen circumstances.
Due to unforeseen
This will be
circumstances.
my
You will
last
never see
episode.
Frankie again.
No, yeah, or we may quit.
Or yeah,
Just kidding. We'll never quit. We're like cockroaches. We don't die.
We are in a
'Cause we
basement right
can't.
now,
we are in a basement,
Because we can't.
and you don't.
and you won't stop.
Goddamn right.
See, the success to saying that is let me start with we can't because I will not remember the other two.
Very good.
Just like people's last names. So,
Can we all do a Ric Flair woo at the same time while we're all just in the camaraderie?
yeah, I just got to make sure we turn down this audio here.
I mean, if
On
there was
three.
ever
One.
stop. We gotta lead this in the right way because God damn it, if 4 years ago you'd have told me we would all be sitting in a basement doing this 5 days before we really start getting ready to put this whole music festival together for our second year in a row, and that this was all real and not some fever dream, I'd say we're all full of shit. But God damn it, that's just the type of people we are. The limousine flying, jet riding, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, sons of guns. Can I get a woo? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Someone play
good.
2001.
And that woo today was provided by the sponsor, Voodoo Ranger, our future sponsor of the
More like
podcast.
Voodoo Ranger, am I right?
I'll
fucking
take
kill
that.
me.
I'll take that. So, okay, we talked a lot about year one.
But can I say my favorite thing about Wild in the Trees 2022?
Let's hear it.
Dude, I convinced my fucking parents to show up.
I met your parents for the first time.
Yeah, that was fun. There was something special about seeing my dad in the passenger seat of my mom's car getting out with a Twisted Tea. Like, yeah, what am I walking into here? Like,
I mean, if that was my mom, she'd be like, I don't give a fuck.
yeah. I was like, it's Charity. This band called, it was at the tail end of Neon Avenue. It's like, you're going to see some cool stuff. And my mom was just drawn into Dan and Garth at Posterity Glass doing a live glass blowing. She asked them about a million questions while Dan Norton was blowing glass like, yeah, that's actually how this works. Just, and my mom's just like, how does this work? How does this work? How do you get the swirl? Like, dude, of all the things, my mother fucking hates people. My mom is the least people person I've ever met on this planet. But for some reason, of all of the things to fascinate her, horses, glass blowing.
Glass blowing's really cool.
Dude, yeah.
Just like seeing it like in person, like we have one friend up in North Creek, Brian Buckler, like he blows glass, and there's a few times like going up there and just hanging out in his shed in the winter, and he's just blowing a piece, and it's like,
dude, got the dopest like protective sunglasses on. They all look like they're just ready to fly a jet somewhere. But yeah, that was my favorite part, having mom and dad come through.
Yeah, I mean, that was really cool to meet them. And just seeing, I don't know, I guess something I could tack on here is seeing old friends that, like Adrienne and her family. They didn't have to come all the way up from fucking Albany, but they did. And then not only did they helped us with our merch booth. And also sitting at the merch booth and just let people come up, talk to us, and also realizing that what we started 15 years ago, Fresh. 15. Like, what we started 15 years ago,
Yeah, I really had to, like,
man.
count that out, because I was like, no way. I feel like it's been longer than that.
15 years since 2008. And, a lot has happened in our lives. And just to see that the skate park is thriving, that there's kids skating there that we have no clue. Like, I always tell people, like, what's the greatest thing about the skate park? It's driving past the skate park, not
Seeing
wanting
people.
to skate and seeing people.
Love that. Like, yeah, like every time I go over there, like when I went to go like drop off posters, like the other day, it was like there was like the LG crew just hanging out, skating it up. I'm just like, like I wish that could be me, but I'm so busy. But I'm like, I love that like people in Lake George have a safe space to skate.
Yeah, seriously, it's something we worked, and because of just the tragedies and hardships of
Being
life,
an adult,
aka work, you know,
Phil's
it's
is
put
crazy.
That, and you know, that's another thing that sucks. Is like, you know, we always talk about how we want to do other things with Mirth Films, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is, I think, doing well. Number one, you coming in, but number two, doing Wild in the Trees, getting back to our roots of skateboarding. That was my 2022 New Year's resolution, was to get back to my roots, and I felt like it was happening, and I think it's a good transition piece that we have to utilize for ourselves going forward. And so to be able to still relate and establish ourselves with skateboarding, even the hair, like we're not Chris Senzik and the crew, but like, you know, like unfortunately life has pulled Mirth Films into the jam band hole, and we're trying to get out of it. And we love it. We love it. We love seeing every single person at 80K Fest, Rye Bread, you know, developing these relationships with people that know us for our work. And that's what it's about at the end of the day, is our work. It's not about going out, promoting a festival, doing something, you know, it's, hey, we're calling Mirth Films because we know, or we're going to Mirth Films YouTube channel because that's the best quality. And this is, to me, the strongest I've ever felt in this podcast. I don't know about you guys, but we got this dope-ass set. We're not using shit cameras. We're using all Panasonic GH4s, which I got to say, like, I was watching the podcast, and I don't usually watch it back, other than, like, if I had to cut out some clip. But I was watching back, and I was like, dude, this is crisp. Like, this is something that could match the level of a Pat McAfee of, while we don't have the set, you know, like Joe Rogan, he uses some shit cameras, but it's about the content. And I think that, I don't know, there's something in the air. Like that guy,
Like mold?
That Phil Collins. Yeah, fucking asshole.
I'm so sorry.
Dude, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I see that.
No, it smells nice down here. No, it's very,
Dude,
it's
now.
the driest it's been since we've started the podcast down here tonight.
There was a flood in the middle.
There was but like,
Dude,
this is
can I
drier
just say-
than it
Can I
was.
just say, there are a lot of things about this ceiling that scare me.
Everything
looking
about
up at it.
downstairs scares me.
I'm not gonna.
But
there's,
you know what doesn't scare me? Putting on a music festival. Because you want to know why? Not a flood. Not a near-death car accident. Not people moving back and forth across the state. And not crazy motherfuckers will stop us from doing what we do. I feel like we've been just like hit with bricks. Let's keep on throwing and then, but we're just like, you can't stop me.
But rain.
Rain is always a problem, especially at music festivals. But let me tell you something, brother.
If you're gonna say it, you have to say it like.
No,
Let me tell you something, brother.
Come on.
If there's no skateboarding competitions, brother, then there will be skateboarding competitions on a video game system, brother. Now give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, but like you should stop with the brothers.
I have no brothers. I have no sisters. I have no
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cavone said so.
Stone Cavone. I'll take that any day.
I like Francois Clavon.
But other than the rain, what else can we look forward to this week? I mean, we haven't even talked about the bands yet.
We haven't.
The first one we're talking about, Mike Ganser's Pro Skater.
Yes.
Not Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, but Mike Ganser's Pro Skater, accompanied by members of Functional Flow, Aqueous, and much more. There's going to be a DJ or a rapper. There's going to be all parts of the Tony Hawk soundtrack that is going to be featured right at the Lake George Skate Plaza as the headline set for Saturday, October 7th. Mike will be coming and shredding. And he also skates. Mike can do a kickflip. I can. He's already cooler than I am. But and he is aqueous. I mean, come on. So I'm looking forward to it because I don't know, just the nostalgia, man. I mean, fucking Tony Hawk got me into this shit. I'm sure he got you into this shit too.
I mean, he didn't hurt the effort.
No, I mean, we come up with a badass game like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1, 2, 3, 4, Underground, Underground 2, American Wasteland, Project 8, Proving Ground, you name it. Competitors, let's go. Come on.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's be real. Like that franchise started a whole music culture in and of itself. I mean, because when you think of anyone who has played a Tony Hawk's video game, when you hear songs like Superman by Goldfinger, or like Blitzkrieg Bop, or like TNT by AC/DC, or The World Is Yours, like you have those songs, or dude, anything by fucking CKY, you immediately think, what Tony Hawk game was this in? Because I know it was in one.
Yeah.
And God, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like I played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 into the ground on my PlayStation 2. And growing up, that video game alone had a big influence on like my music taste.
Tony Hawk 4 was the first Tony Hawk game to not feature a 2-minute clock, which made it kick ass. It is more underrated than Tony Hawk's Underground will be every day. Tony Hawk's Underground might just be one of the best Tony Hawk's ever made. Story-wise, specifically. Because if we go with Doug 2, I mean, that's a whole nother thing. That's just like a feature-heavy fucking game. So many levels. But Tony Hawk 4 was the game. Came out on Xbox, PS2, GameCube. Yeah, I remember being like, who's Atiba? And now today I'm like, Atiba's like everything. He's God, you know? And like, yeah, I mean, you know, Bam Margera's popping at that time. You got Eddie from Iron Maiden in the game.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, so, and like that's, just bringing up Mike Ganser's Pro Skater has got us talking about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. So because of that reason, we are going to read the rest of the bands, we promise. But because of that reason, we're going to all go down the line. Favorite Tony Hawk's Pro Skater game, Doug, whatever, any generation.
It's Doug 1. All day, every day.
Why?
Well, I mean, Delta Funky Hopeless Sapien. It was my first Tony Hawk. Well, I mean, I guess Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 was my first one, but like, Thug was like the first one like I played the whole career over and over and over again. Fuck you, Eric Sparrow. You're still a piece of shit. No, that game, like when I think Tony Hawk's, I think Tony Hawk's Underground.
See, for me, Pro Skater 4, when I say if they had a way to keep track of how many hours we spent playing that game, I think the number would measure in weeks. Like, I put that bitch into the ground. I learned that there were more skaters than Tony Hawk and Bam Margera, mostly by playing that game.
Okay.
But like, I bet before that, I knew Tony Hawk and Bam Margera from TV. And then after that, I think I could name like 5 skaters now. Tony Hawk, Bam Margera, Kareem Campbell, Bob Berquist.
Got it. You got it.
It starts with an any letter.
What was the custom character? Never soft skater.
Never saw him skate.
Always hard, never soft.
So I'm going to go... I would like to go with Tony Hawk's Underground. And I would like to go with Tony Hawk's Underground because just picking it up from Shroomi's Game Store maybe like 3 months ago, I've never wanted to play Tony Hawk more than I've played that game because it's been so long since I've played it. But because of recency bias and because you've already said Tony Hawk's Underground, I'm going to have to go with a couple. Or 3. So number 1, from different eras, Tony Hawk 3. Tony Hawk 3 was such a special game. Yeah, it still had the 2-minute clock, but overall it still has one of the highest Metacritic scores for all Tony Hawk video games. And when you play that, not only is the game mechanics great, but also just the, I don't know what the technical word is for video games, but I guess just the game engine itself. Like your tricks are not super floaty, but they're also not like heavy, you know, like it's very well worked out game. And I emulated it not too long ago, and I played it in 4K, and I was like, this game is amazing. I wish this is the one. And I also, it was like, because I got Tony Hawk 4, other than Pro Skater, that was the first Tony Hawk I got, but Tony Hawk 4 was the first real Tony Hawk that I got to play on my own and just going bonkers. But American Wasteland, I think, just while it doesn't feature the level of quality that in a story you would look for in a Tony Hawk Underground. I think it has a better story than Tony Hawk's Underground 2. I think it's just really cool to take advantage at that point in time, the first ever free roaming Tony Hawk. You go from, location to location, and you would have to skate through the malls and stuff, but that was also
really cool.
half the fun. Yeah, it was really cool tricks. Focus mode was a thing at that time, but then jumping in, because they always get overlooked because of how good the original Tony Hawk games were and the Tony Hawk games on the 7th gen systems, which was GameCube, PS2, Xbox, to me is Proving Ground. Because Proving Ground was better than Project 8, and it was better than Project 8 because not only did you have Nail the Trick, you had Nail the Grab, and then you had Nail the Grind.
I don't think I played Proving Ground now that you bring all those up.
That's why I'm so happy I have your Xbox 360, Doug. I want to go buy that. Do I want to this second? No, I got a festival run. But
the second that festival's
October
over?
9th,
October 9th?
it's over.
Yeah, it is literally going to be a new birth of Mirth Films. But that is my favorite 3 Tony Hawks that I have. I have fond memories of all Tony Hawk games. And I'm so happy that they did make Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1-2 remastered. I know you're not a fan of playing on the Xbox controller, but I can promise you will get past it because you were so used to the Xbox controller, number one. And number two, the remaster is literally just a top shelf remake of a game. And it sucks. While I love that Xbox acquired Activision Blizzard, It canceled the 3-4 remaster, which was planned to happen, and unfortunately, that's something I have to bring up on this podcast and remind you suckers about. But yeah, so that's I don't know where I'm going with this. Tony Hawk wins every day. He is the Michael Jordan of our sport. There's no denying it. You could go to another country and bring him up over other skaters. Maybe we don't know so much because maybe Naja has a big impact. Maybe.
Tony Hawk will always have the biggest impact.
Will.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
And that's why we got to thank the 900, everybody. Great credit score, great SAT score, and also a great trick on a skateboard.
I think that's a really bad SAT score.
It's better than 500, which is what Kevin Hart got.
Either way, so the band's playing. So, obviously, we have Mike Gancher's Pro Skater headlining Night 1, that is Saturday the 7th to those of you who don't believe in calendars. Headlining Night 2 is our local boys, the Toxic Twins themselves, Joe Mansman and Dollars himself, and the rest of the Midnight Revival Band with just absolute outlaw, fuck the rules, true pinnacle of what being a skateboarder is probably about. I don't know, but I think that's right. But aside from that, we have Shu, 30 years of tearing through Glens Falls, played with Mo and the C-Pods back in the day before Mo and C-Pods just sounded like STDs or whatever, before they were household names. And now they're coming back and doing a whole ska punk, just quintessential skate music.
I'm really excited to see them. I've never seen them before.
Dude.
It's going to be a great experience. And then, so we got, stop me if you've already said it, but we got the Feng Shui Boys. The Feng Shui Boys will be making their way to Wild in the Trees after an epic gig in Vermont or Maine, one of the northeastern countries, cities, states, whatever you want to call them.
We're really doing them a lot of justice.
They're freaking awesome, and you should go see them at Wild in the Trees Music and Skate Festival. So we got them. We got not only just an ambulance, we got an ambulance full of candy.
AKA
Trick or treat.
Candy Ambulance.
But I am so excited to see Candy Ambulance again. It's been a while since I've seen them. I think last time I saw them was Alive at 5
opening up for Lita Ford.
Lita Ford. That was just, I don't know, every time I've got to see them or hear them, I always thought they were one of the better bands that we have here in the Capital Region, and to have them play our stage is just fucking great. Also, big shout out to Jesse from Candy Ambulance, who's now the bass player of Bella's Bartok as well.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that fucking cool?
Dude, that is
a local guy make it, dude.
Isn't Bella's Bartok semi-local?
No, they're. I think they're local to
Northeast.
the northeast,
Okay.
but I mean, they're always one of the most fun sets to watch.
Dude, they are a very
especially when they open up for Andy Frasco. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, that God. Let me tell you, I've seen Frasco. I haven't seen Frasco enough. That'll never happen. But I was quite impressed with Bella's Bar Talk opening up for them at Putnam Place. Yeah, almost. It was like March of 22, right? March or April of 22.
Yeah, it was 2022. Either one of those.
It was cold
spring
enough.
months.
It was cold enough for me to wear sleeves. I remember that.
I do remember there not being snow on the ground. So
On the ground.
there definitely wasn't.
I found some in the men's bathroom, and it was really weird.
I believe it. Victory Soul Orchestra, the only comment of the night I want to give to Saul Schaefer. Victory Soul Orchestra, looking forward to seeing them. Saw them out on one of your Palace sessions. Fuck yeah, dude! Thank you for watching Palace sessions, which also you might see come back, which could be fucking pretty cool. So, Saul, I also am looking forward to Victory Soul Orchestra. It's great, not only funk, 10-piece funk band, but also, they have the elements of R&B, soul, and hip-hop, all thanks to our fucking guest that we had on two episodes before this one. I gotta put a muzzle on my mouth. What do we got next, buddy?
All right, so, of course, we just talked about our friend JB, a.k.a. Dirty Moses, and the rest of Victory Soul Orchestra. Let's also not forget the Hauntings are coming back for a second year in a row. Called an audible last minute for reasons beyond our control. Smedics can't make it, but Danny Wade and the rest of the Hauntings came in to play once again last minute. One of the greatest names to an album I've ever heard, Reptile Dysfunction. Not only do we have them, we have Fine Grain, a group of just audio boys.
The finest of the grain. The favorite beer to drink is a Genesee. So if you're going to bring them anything, don't bring them flowers. Just bring them a Genesee tall boy in a paper bag.
All right.
If you can get it in.
Yeah, if our volunteers fuck up, you deserve it. But yeah, and of course, lest you forget, Lake George is conveniently located between two sets of mountains, but we will still have Hilltop right in the middle. That didn't work as well as I thought, but Hilltop is going to be there. Speaking of just a band roster full of sound people. And I think we've covered almost everything except for the fact the Lagoon, if we haven't stressed this enough, 2 planets away. Mark Elmendorf and members of Shoe.
Not Chris, not Mark Emmeldorf.
And they like it if you keep your shirt on there.
They, from what we understand, Lagoon encourages the wearing of shirts and the not smoking cigarettes indoors.
Yeah, no, don't do that either.
But
especially because there's an outdoor. So.
I know.
Listen,
I was black out. I don't know what you want from me.
It was you?
Yeah, it was me.
Frankie, you also smoked inside too.
I don't smoke.
I was. So Kate McCann was grabbing one of you by a backpack, and I was grabbing one of you by your collar. I don't remember who.
It was definitely him. He wears backpacks. I wear.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes
You
sense.
gave your shirt to a
Yeah,
chick.
so you would have to just grab my actual collarbone.
I didn't want to grab your hair. I was like, that's mean. I'm just like, I felt like a cat mom when a cat like grabs their baby by the back of the neck. I'm hoping it'd just like freeze. It's all right, buddy. We're gonna get you back home.
I didn't know we were both down bad like that. That's hilarious.
Honestly, that was totally worth.
It was after a Rock the Dock, right?
Yeah. So I couldn't make it to Rock the Dock, but you guys were like, dude, Formula 5 after party, and I'm just like, dude, Formula 5 after party, let's fucking go. And yeah, holy shit.
Sorry. Also, we do have to give a quick shout out. Formula 5 will be playing November 24th at Putnam Place. They're going to be doing a reunion with the majority of the members of Formula 5. And if you want to go hear them rock out, here's some classic tunes from the bands that made Edging a Catastrophe, All Points North, and Formula 5 self-titled. This is the place to go. Day after Thanksgiving, don't eat too much turkey so that way you can wake up on time to make it for doors.
Goddamn right. And if you get lucky, man, and you go to Formula 5, you might still be able to take someone home and do some stuffing of your own.
Hey, yo.
And also, to close out the roster for Wild in the Trees, if you thought that there wasn't enough spice, flavor, and good old-fashioned quintessential skateboarding music to go around, your friend and mine, Connor Dunn, the sexiest sax man. I was going to say a terrible sax reference, but he is going to be
What are you going to say? The sax master?
Oh no, I was going to say registered sax offender.
No!
Illegal.
So no,
10-yard penalty.
but instead, what I will say,
Cut that.
instead, what I will say, Connor Dunn, one of the most talented men I've ever seen play saxophone, who has been in certain groups, especially loved him in Let's Be Leonard back in the day. I still remember seeing him at Gaffney's in 2015. How did I get into Gaffney's in 2015? I don't remember. But they played an awesome version of Watermelon Man, and it was killer. Herbie Hancock classic. I miss the Leonard boys. Hope they're all doing all right. But Connor Dunn is going to be the artist at large. Any band that wants to utilize him in any way that they see fit, maybe add that little bit of accent mark to their sound, Connor Dunn is going to be the man for it, and he is going to have some hot, steamy, unprotected sax all weekend at
right.
Wild in the Trees. This is
Multiple
a family
bands.
event. Bring your children.
Now, yeah, I mean, we're
Hard transition after that one, right?
yeah, tell me about it. Oh man, you're making my job hard. So yeah,
All right, so
I mean,
thanks
in
for
all
watching.
honesty, Connor's been one of those guys who's always been there. I mean, playing
I needed
in
that.
many different acts, like Let's Be Leonard, North and South Dakotas, Wild Adriatic, Chestnut Grove, and many other sit-ins in between all of that. He is a true fan of music. He's a Fish fan. He loves Dopapod, and you know what? We love him. So we're excited to have him as our artist at large for the 2023 Wild in the Trees Music and Skate Festival. Now, Dougie, what are we expecting for the skate competition? As long as everything,
Everything
Hands
goes
up.
to plan.
because it's not going to rain.
It's not going to rain.
Don't
Like
believe the
George's,
weatherman.
like George's special. So we are looking forward to 45-second runs, best trick on different sections of the park. We have jam sessions on different sections of the park. We have time trials this year, so fastest one around the park, high ollie, game of skate, and whatever the dice say, skate or dice. So we got a lot of skateboarding all weekend long. I'm excited. We already have about 11 people signed up. I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to be signing up at the day of, and yeah, I'm really excited for this year's competitions. It's going to be amazing. You don't want to miss it.
What do if you're competing in the competition? Because I'm not aware, but I know we got some sponsors here.
We do.
What can some young cool cats not like Nick B win?
Yeah, no, Nick B's not winning anything. But if you're not Nick B and you're skating, you have the chance to win prizes from Seasons or Corner Skate Shop, which includes, we have a few skateboard decks, a whole bunch of T-shirts, hats, stickers, pins. We have a whole bunch of different skateboarding related items that wheels.
Trucks and wheels? I learned that word, trucks. I learned that word.
It is a skateboarding part, but I don't think we have any trucks available for prizes. But we have basically every other piece of skateboarding equipment you could need.
You could. Did you say eat?
I said eat.
All
I
you can
forgot
eat,
the
dude.
end.
An all-you-can-eat skateboarding buffet, courtesy of your friends and mine over at Seasons Skate Shop.
And also, for those young cats that didn't know, Seasons is actually featured in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remastered. Not only is it the home skate shop in Del Mar, New York, it is also, it's just cool to see their board on the game. Like, when Nick showed me that, my cousin Nick, when he showed me, I thought it was like localized to like your local area. Like, I thought it was that smart of a game.
Mm-hmm.
But because Vicarious Visions, the developer who is from Albany, made that game, they decided to feature Season Skate Shop as the skate shop.
That's so cool.
It's so cool. And I'm adding extra purpose for why you should come to the festival. And because also you'll get a free pin if you're one of the first 100 people to purchase a ticket since we posted that. Obviously, if you did buy a ticket beforehand, before we announced this whole pin thing, you will get a pin. So you're not going to be left empty-handed, not by us. Somebody actually did ask me, can you bring a chair to Wild in the Trees Music and Skate Festival? Absolutely. We want you to be comfortable, and if you are comfortable sitting down, if you are that person who sits down at a concert, this is the place you want to come to, because you can sit down. I don't care if you're in the front row or the back row, because half the ticket sales do go to Ronald McDonald House, Capital Region. This is our second year that we've included them as our featured charity.
Chair hitty.
It's great to give back, and it's also, like, at this point in time, I don't foresee like George Skate Plus getting any additions step up, young skaters. This is a serious message. We really need people to help carry the flag that Doug and I and the rest of my friends started many years ago, 15 years ago, actually. So if you are interested, we'll point you in the right direction. We'll help you out. But at this point in time, with the way life is, we got the ground broken. We got ground there. We could use more help with that. So that's why at this point in time, it just makes sense. I mean, Mayor Blaze was like, this is one of the best charities you can donate to. Then I learned more about Ronald McDonald House. We've talked to people in certain places about Ronald McDonald House who have positively been, affected by the charity's efforts. And thank you for trusting us to be able to take the great name of Ronald McDonald House and raise money on your behalf. It really is something that, I don't know, definitely hits hard in my heart, and they do great things for people who need the help. So, in all serious matter, even if you don't show up to Wild in the Trees, if for some reason, just know that half the ticket sales are going back to Ronald McDonald House, and the other half obviously is going into our pocket. Just to be completely transparent.
It's kind of going back to the band's pocket. If you
this is realistically, this is going toward a wedding.
Yeah, no, this is we've done our part. We've raised the money to make sure this festival is able to happen, and again, from the bottom of my heart and from these guys, thank you for supporting Mirth Films over the past 5 years, and especially in a public event like this. This is not easy for us. We're not Greg Bell. We're not Dave Eamon. We're video makers, and we like to party. And
goddamn right.
So this is why it just means so much more, because this is something we are jumping out of our element to put on, and luckily we have the friends that want to help us do this.
Oh, absolutely, man. You are not in any means. That is an understatement in and of itself. And like you said, we're not Greg Bell. We're not Dave Eamon. And yes, this year we are able to pull it off in the sense everyone's going to be taken care of, and we are, for all intents and purposes, all covered. But we can't say we did that on our own, and for that reason, we have to thank all of our sponsors.
Absolutely.
And just going down the line, we have Valhalla Concrete. My good friend Marcus said, "Hey, I love skateboarding. Here's money." Ginner Electric, Nick Ginner, one of the fastest growing stagehands and friends of the 80K fam, said, "I don't like jam music, but I believe in you guys." SF Janitorial said, "Hey, love what you guys are doing." Radio X said, "Hey, we love what you're doing."
Northern Wardens.
D&D Fanatics. "Hey, we love what you're doing." Altered Apparel. "Hey, I heard you need pins made. How can we do that?" And we did that. That's not even an Uncommon Grounds, if I read that correctly. The law offices of the attorney Paul Ryan, because sometimes bad things happen to good people, and when they do, call Paul.
And when Razor Ramon ain't there to help, I mean, what are you going to do?
Dude.
Call Paul Ryan. That's what
goddamn right. Because bad times don't last, but good attorneys do.
Damn right.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
Hell, even if you need an LLC or just something to, whatever, if you need some law needs, legalities, copyright infringement, logos being used that look like other logos from music festivals and wheel companies, Paul Ryan's the guy to go to. We might take his number down because it's on the poster.
I think he specifically wanted it on the poster.
He wanted it on the poster.
Hey, he'll take all the work he can get. Paul Ryan, if you're out there listening, arr, because goddamn, he says "R" a lot.
And lastly, before we jump into what everybody's favorite part, our only true section of the podcast that we actually have that's a topic, what is everybody looking forward to for Wild in the Trees?
I am looking forward to closing out this festival season. Not closing out this festival season with a bang, but closing it out with a fucking kickflip, dude. I mean, I'm not going to do the kickflip.
More than I'll do.
I'm not going to do the kickflop, but we're going to close it out with a kickflip. That's all I got.
I mean, I'm really excited for, a lot of the bands, the Mike Gansler Pro Skater set. I'm so beyond excited for that. But I mean, I'm really, I'm really excited to see what the 45-second lines are gonna bring to the table. We have a lot of that's a new event this year, and I'm kind of interested to see how our local skaters will do with that.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't know what I'm looking forward to. I'll be honest with you. I really don't. Like, at this point in time right now, I'm just hoping everything goes well. Like, just every single night, trying to get some sleep, be prepared for what we have, and make sure that everybody's happy, make sure our vendors are happy, make sure everybody's taken care of, dealing with anything that we could potentially go through, playing, just pretty much just playing prevent defense, which Steelers are not good at. That's
Still 2-2, baby.
still 2 losses in my but like
Doing better than
I
the
don't
Bengals.
know. I'm looking forward to being able to find a moment throughout the weekend where I can just chill and like take it all in again. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I think about
Because
the same time
this
as
is the thing.
last.
It's going to happen again. We are doing this. This is everything's set in stone at this point. I could give 2 shits of how much I stress and how much shit that comes onto our plate when it comes to this. Because I'll tell you, swapping memory cards in between sets is probably the most stressful thing I've ever been through. So, like this, I know we can do it. We already did it again. We already did it last year. And like, it's just making sure that, again, everybody is comfortable and making sure that everybody's happy. That's all I care about. And if that happens, success in my book, whether we sell 100 more tickets or none more tickets, like in all seriousness, we've been through the fundraising process. We've been through the stresses of how are we going to afford this, especially as an independent company that is not funded by any outside source other than the money that we have and the money that we earn through Mirth Films and from the help of our sponsors and bed tax money through Lake George and Warren County.
And aside from all of that, we're independent.
We're independent. Always have. And I'll tell you, when we go corporate, we'll still be independent. Because at the end of the day, when you have 1 million subscribers 3 years from now, we're going to have to corporate. We're going to have to become corporate. I hate to say it.
LLC, baby.
I think we might have to, just become an S corp.
5
years from now, we may be on the stock market.
Dude.
We might be a public traded company. Who knows?
We should get into Bitcoin.
Bitcoin
Yes.
can
Make
go-
Mirth coin.
Dude, Mirth coin.
Yeah,
You heard it here first.
Mirth coin.
Not a
And
scam.
we already have the Mirth coin in physicality. We got the Mirth pin. It's basically a
Which, I
coin.
mean, yeah. I mean, when you think of it, so the definition of a coin is something that holds value. And that coin, the pin, represents $10.
At
It's
least.
backed
That's a
by
$10 share
It's
of
backed.
Mirth
It's
Films.
backed by money. In the same sense, do you guys remember back in the day when McDonald's had like those cool amulet coins that you could exchange for a Big Mac? Those coins are backed by Big Macs.
Dude, dollar pieces of paper backed by gold.
No, not anymore. Not since like the 70s, dude.
Not since the 70s.
Do you know, let's be real, let's derail this whole investment thing for a second. Do you know, like, that the United States went from being on the gold standard, and then once being taken off, so at the time, our money was backed by gold. And now, do you know what our money is backed by?
Bronze?
Platinum, bitches.
No and no.
Just kidding.
The faith of the United States government.
Oof.
So keep that in mind.
Well, if you're George Michael, you might just be in luck. But rest in peace.
George Michael's dead?
George Michael died. I think.
Did he carelessly
Don't look at me,
whisper
dog.
on his way out?
I really hope I'm not wrong because I would never want that for anybody. But I think what we're really trying to say is it's time
for
to
a
talk
yell.
about what we've been watching, listening, playing here. So Dougie Fresh, the freshest of the Dougies.
Ooh,
Don't
that's
teach
hard.
me how to do it,
I don't know how
Right.
to.
Mr. When Christ, Mary. I'm trying to go into it.
I don't
Jimi
know.
Hendrix reference.
That's
So
Mr.
in my
Haze to
purple
you.
haze of a week, I've been watching lots of Bob's Burgers. I've been listening to, got into this one rap artist, Jid. Been listening to The Forever Story, like put that on repeat the past couple days. DiCaprio 2 is also pretty good. Spillagin. with the Earth Gang. So yeah, video game wise, I played like 2 games of solitaire on my phone at some point.
Did you win?
Oh, always win, bro.
Good man.
Oh, dude,
Good
I
man.
love solitaire. And I don't play the hard version because I like to win. You know, I'm just trying to relax.
That's fair.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, yeah, no, I haven't really gotten into. Oh, I watched Elemental, that Disney flick. That was okay. It was kind of like, you guys ever seen like Inside Out?
I know the song by Eve 6. Great song.
Yeah, okay, no.
I would swallow my pride. I would choke on the ride. You know that song?
No.
No.
All right,
But it
I'm
doesn't
done.
matter.
I'm done.
All right. So,
What you been up to, man?
dude, so music-wise, I've been listening to this group called Home Free, and they do a lot of. It's like an acapella group, which normally, I don't know about you guys. When I hear acapella, I think virginity, but these guys are actually really good, and they do a lot of renditions of like old Irish sea shanty shit, and a lot of like the separating from England type stuff of like the whole Irish Civil Wars of the
So like
20s and the
Dropkick
90s.
Murphys.
Basically, but acapella. And yeah, they're cool.
That's cool.
And then been playing a lot of this game on my phone called Dan the Man, which is basically imagine like the Karate Kid, but just in a way more ridiculous universe. And television, I think twice this week I got to watch an episode of Futurama, the new rebooted Futurama. What you got to say? Pretty darn good.
Same voice actors?
Same voice actors.
Is Bender in there?
John DiMaggio is in there.
Okay.
Some great plots so
Good,
far.
good.
Yeah. What about you, Frankie C?
Shit. Well, if we're going to pick up acapellas, I just got to plug one thing. Shining Teeth and Me. You can watch that right on the Mirth Films YouTube channel. It's a great acapella barbershop quartet version of the song. I stand by it.
It gives you
And,
goosebumps. At least it gives me goosebumps every time I listen to it.
Yeah, and low-key, it was a paid gig I did that I was like, I'm taking this. and it benefited over 1,000 people who watched it. So, Shining Teeth and Me, everybody. And I'm going to take this quick second to just plug a couple things before I talk about the shit I put in my ears and in my eyes. So, first off, Mirth Films YouTube channel. Again, we're on the hike to 2,000. We're at 1.21 subscribers.
1.92.
And that's what we'll be at next week after all the people who are watching this go and hit subscribe if you haven't already. It is, for me, my biggest push with Mirth Films for my soul and my heart. I love making fun content, and we're going to try to break out of our shell. That's the whole point of what we have to come after October 7th and 8th. Also, I need to plug Karina Reichman and Baked Shrimp. Both of those sets are available on 80K Music Festival YouTube channel. But if you want to watch a couple singles from the show, we do have a couple singles featured, including Karina Reichman's recently released within the year song Joyride, which you can enjoy right on Mirth Films, and take the Joyride and watch the rest of the other content like we have, like Halloweeny. It is a real video. You should look it up. It's Doug in a scary costume.
He's scary for sure.
And secondly, thirdly, or fourthly, I have to plug Mountain Sessions. It is something I've been working on, and I'm definitely going to need some help from you guys because I cannot hike that much gear up a mountain.
Like schedule like a time
Dude,
better.
yeah,
Like
that-
don't
I
hit me
have-
up like
yeah.
the night before
At
and be
this
like,
point-
hey.
Yeah, dude. When I'm learning about a mountain session, when Laura Lee's 30-second clip hits my Instagram feed,
Like
I think there's a little bit of fucking lack of communication there.
There was very, very much lack of communication there, and I
right.
thought I could do it all on my own, and fuck.
Dude,
it
you
ain't like
fucking
setting up
heard
in the
it.
courtyard.
You heard it
know?
there first, man.
did you at least bring your cart?
I'm gonna bring a cart up a fucking mountain. Like,
Yeah,
I
Yes!
Yeah.
I literally had to basically I strategized what I needed. All
That's
it took
good.
was 2 bags of gear and 2 tripods and 1 mic stand, and that got me through, and my gimbal. So like, yeah, that's a lot for one person to carry, but 2 definitely not. So I'll definitely be reaching out for some help. Especially we're getting some fucking color leaves up in the 80K, and it's about time we start doing courtyard sessions more. But we have enough to drip out until after
Mountain sessions.
after Wild in the Trees. Yes, after Mountain Sessions. But this week coming up on Wednesday, we have Reese Fulmer's Mountain Sessions dropping at noon Eastern Time. So go check that out. Mirth Films. We now have a secondary Instagram called Mirth Film Skate, which we will be using a lot. You will be seeing a lot of day-to-day clips following Wild in the Trees of just general skateboarding ran by Nick B. Thank you, Nick B. But, you know, majority of the stuff for Sylvia will still live right on the Mirth Films Instagram, and I'm sure we'll collaborate on the other one too. But that is something that we're looking forward to. Also, we have a TikTok now. So if you are somebody who goes and consumes media through TikTok, that is an option. If you're not on Instagram, you're not on Facebook, Facebook's not your thing, we are offering this to just regurgitate the same shit we're making here. And then other than that, yeah, music-wise, what have I been consuming here? I've been music Metallica. I have been a huge Metallica fan my whole life, but I just kind of re-listened to Ride the Lightning again. Love it, just like I used to. Lotus, I've been listening to some... I can't read my fucking handwriting.
I'm
Iron
surprised
Maiden,
you do.
I've been listening to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, which to me is the future, and the future is here. I wanted to say that just like that. But if you could take a song like The Gila Monster, one of the heaviest like thrash metal songs you could ever listen to a song like Hate Dancin', and like it be like this peaceful like electric lights orchestra type of groove, very Elton John, just like very different type of music. Like these guys write a different genre of fucking music every album.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's what makes them incredible.
Well, honestly, like if I had to pick any band that is even close to their style, they're the next generation of Ween.
They are, but they don't. I mean, this is a complete bias thing. I don't like Ween. I don't like them at all.
Dude, fuck you, then, man. Ween is killer.
But you know, what could I compare? Like, okay, a Gila Monster or Flamethrower. I could compare that to like Anthrax, Slayer, Metallica, and then like I said, a peaceful like poppy song. Like that same band can do the same thing. It's like how people say like, oh, Fish plays all the different genres.
Yeah,
no, they don't.
Yeah, it's
this
almost
band
like,
does. Like,
dude,
and
listen.
Trey likes them enough to go see them on his own. Like, and it's like documented thing. Why does that even matter? Who fucking knows? But it just goes to show like, okay, there's this in a world where music is so oversaturated, and you know people like are even being developed as artists through TikTok. Like this band is like a garage band that just does not give a fuck about any trend, and they're just some Australian motherfuckers, man. I mean, Steve
awesome.
Irwin, King Gizzard. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's all I can say.
If you frame it in the sense like that, I can't name anyone else from Australia. Absolutely.
But you know, video Love Is Blind on Netflix. It's a reality show about love and about getting married really quick. And I got hooked onto this last Friday by Danny, and I'm not afraid to say I like Love Is Blind. Also, I was so bored at work the other day. I was like, what do I do with my hands? So I was like, instead, I thought, what do I do with my eyes? So I watched one of those clickbaity Bam Margera videos, Rise and Fall of Bam Margera.
Oh, those are good.
Yeah, it's like, oh, let's watch some misery here. And then also Square Eye Jack. I want to give a big shout. I've mentioned him before on the podcast. Square Eye Jack is a YouTuber who makes video game content, and he's currently going through Skate-Tember. In the past, because he's already done it, he did Tony Hawktober. And it's really cool. And he does other like types of video games too, but I really like his content. He's also Australian, and and it's fun content to watch. Like he's not like a prick, you know. Like some YouTube channels, it just rub me the wrong way. This guy's he's like somebody I would want to hang out with, you know. Like so, Square Eye Jack. If you're not watching this, thank you. And then gaming. I've been playing some fucking video games, guys.
No way.
Number one, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater remastered. I created a new skater just so I could beat the game again. I'm still trying to work at beating every single level of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 in one run. I'm able to do it with like 5 or 6 maps at this point. Like I haven't strategized where like I go and like skate, whatever the odd thing is, do the flip trick over this thing, and then, you know. just manual like button mash until I win. You know, like. So that's something I'm really looking forward to is playing more video games. One of the games that I also been playing is Doom. The Doom remake from 2016 is actually a really good game, and I never had the chance to play it because there was a period of my life where I was really into RPGs, and right now, while I have a million things going on in my life, I cannot dedicate time to another world. Hence why I still have not beaten Assassin's Creed Odyssey. But it's just not as good as Origins to me. Like Assassin's Creed Origins is to me one of the best open world games ever made. And I have a little bias towards that because I love Egypt. I love ancient Egypt, and it's so cool to like. I recommend both of you guys go and play that. Even if you don't like Assassin's Creed, you will like this game. It's something I really believe in.
I played it for like 2 hours. I like bought it. But like then I didn't play it for like 3 weeks and I forgot how to play it and I was like,
My best recommendation: start the story over. It's that good. The story itself is worth playing, and I'm also saying this because Cyberpunk just came out with the 2.0 update and they dropped the DLC Phantom Liberty. Cyberpunk is one of the best games I've ever played. I say the best a lot, but this is seriously like top 5 games I've ever played in my whole entire life. I recommend if you're going to play it on the Series X or play it on PC if you got a chunky enough PC to play the game because Xbox One, PS4 will not cut it, and it is an experience that you don't want. Like, I cried during that game. Like, I cried for the first time during a movie last week, but I cried for the first time during a game.
What movie?
The Good Mother.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's a movie about, and I brought this up last week, but Good Mother is, I think that's what it's called, I'm pretty sure. It's a movie based here in Albany, New York, actually.
Oh, I
with
do
Hilary
remember.
Swank.
Yeah.
And everything, like, is all, like, based on Albany life. And, like, it was about, like, you know, like, going through the struggles of the opioid addiction, heroin, fentanyl getting introduced into our area. And I think just because of some of the things that I went through with my life, with my family, and with Nico and other friends we've seen that we lost throughout this unfortunate, you know, period of time, the past 10 years, I think it was the first time I like thought about how nasty the opioid crisis is, and like I literally just like had tears dropping out of my eyes because I was like, I don't know, it just like all hit me. Like, you know, like it's like we lost Nico. I was up at school. I don't know if I think you might have been in.
Yeah, I was in town.
You were in town for it was just like, but it was just like going and sitting playing Red Dead Redemption for the first time in 2010 with Nico, sitting down on his roof, hanging out. You know, like going to his house,
crazy.
sneaking out of your window. You know, like having these life moments and memories with somebody that unfortunately struggled with addiction. You know, that was so tough, and it's no joke. And you know, I really, if you have a hard time with addiction, yeah, my chin up to you, and make sure that you get the help that you can whenever you're ready. It's not easy. I don't know what it's like being addicted, and I can't imagine what the pain is like. So for the people who can get through that, you know, big cheers, big props. We know we know success stories. It's possible.
Do you need a hug, Frankie?
No, not right now.
Okay.
Maybe after this podcast. But at the end of the day, what do we want you to do? We want you to show up on October 7th and 8th to Wild in the Trees Music and Skate Festival. Half the ticket sales go right to Ronald McDonald House. Up until Thursday, you will have the opportunity to buy a ticket from Eventbrite and get a free Mirth Films pin when you walk into the door. So don't miss out on that. Honestly, $15, $15 value upon your ticket. Which also, again, half that ticket goes literally to charity to help sick people. Like, that's fucking awesome. You know, we got Mike Answer's Pro Skater. We got every other band. We got some amazing vendors, which we haven't even talked about.
You could get a fucking tattoo at this festival.
You get a tattoo.
Yeah, your friend and mine, Nick Mancuso from Infrangible Inc., who just, big congratulations to him if he's listening, just opened up a new shop right in the heart of downtown Hudson Falls. Just moved locations, and I wish him the best with all the endeavors that come with changing scenery. And I believe he's going to be doing the $60 Get What You Get tattoo. Please excuse Frankie.
I
opening
did
a
not
beer.
just try to drink a beer while it was not open.
It's a good thing the camera was cut away for a second. But yes, that and many more. You can get coffee. You can possibly get some cannabis-based products.
You can definitely get some barbecue.
Definitely
There's
get some
real
barbecue.
good barbecue.
You can get domestic beer this year. Do you not like craft beer? That's okay, because Bella Sully's Tavern, Scott Richards and his family will be there slinging domestic canned beer. $4 domestics, $5 common roots beer. That, and I will argue this, is probably the best beer price you will see of the Lake George festival scene all year.
And not only that, if you don't like coffee and you don't like beer, I'll
Boba.
tell you, we got some boba tea. All right, kids? So we got boba tea with boba in the tea. And this is from Cha Yen. And we highly recommend you go grab a cup. I'm probably going to grab a cup. I don't like milk and sugar and all that bullshit in my drink.
But
But
sometimes
you know what? I will
You
today.
want boba in
I
your
will
drink
say,
though?
actually, you want to know something
You ever had
funny?
a boba?
I've never had a boba, but I actually had cream in my coffee the other day.
No. What
Yeah.
kind of cream?
So,
oh my god.
I don't even remember.
What?
It was really sweet
Who
and
are you?
intoxicating. I didn't like it.
Addicted.
I
But
bet
Danny,
you didn't.
Danny gave it to me. She put it in she put the creamer. It was like some sweet shit of some sort.
Everything's gonna be sweet to you.
But I remember like 2 hours after drinking that coffee, I was like,
What does this taste in my mouth?
"Fuck, what the fuck is this aftertaste?" So I immediately made my first cup of coffee at home since I moved to Ramon's, which we are live from Ramon's basement. So big shout out to Ramon here. Thank you for letting us use your space in your basement. That did get flooded, and we did almost lose a lot of shit. So,
But we didn't. Because
But we
just like our equipment, but unlike our easy ups, we don't give up. Our easy ups give up, but we don't give up. So if we can make it through this whole riveting festival season, if we can get through losing, oh my god, at this point, what? 2 tents, 2 chairs, like 7 easy ups, the neighbor's cat, like everything else that's come with it. If the three of us can make it through all of this, then you guys can spend a weekend partying with us to close out festival season in Lake George. We hope to see you guys there. October 7th and 8th. Be there or get ollied on, kids.
and Brett, what are you gonna do?
Come to the fucking festival. You know why?
Because Stone Cold said so. And that's been episode 59 of the Kind of
Oh,
Live, Kind of
Jesus
Living
Christ.
podcast, brought to you by Mirth Films. And as all of you know, you can watch this back on YouTube, and you can also hit the subscribe button if you feel like it. But also, you can listen to it on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube Podcasts. We're trying to make this as available for you. I mean, goddamn, I even said that it was cool to do a TikTok. So if that says anything, then I don't know what does. And what's another thing you gotta do, Brett?
Dude, I mean, we don't say smoke 'em if you got 'em anymore, even though we've already all, basically rolled back the restrictions we gave ourselves as Frankie gave us vapes off camera. But
No, the thing you gotta start it, Frankie. You made
Yeah,
the whole
yeah,
thing.
remember that whole thing.
You gotta
You-
start it.
yeah.
Smoke them if you got them.
No, you.
God damn it. No, run it back one more time. Frankie, the thing you said you had to start so we'd get it in sync.
Because you forget the words if you didn't start it,
Because we can.
And you won't.
and you don't stop.
Fuck's sake. Bye.